What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session for the week. It's obviously not at 11 a.m. Eastern. We had some meetings in the day. It was a very unexpected, busy day. But the main thing is we get the live session out of the way. Make sure we get a nice look at the charts. It's also at a different time of the day, so we're going to see a lot of new people in the chat. A lot of other people get an opportunity to try out the live session and see if it's worth it for them. So today we're going to start off right off the bat. I'm going to let people join in, but I'm just going to start the live. I have some admin stuff I want to cover. So you guys have been known for quite a few weeks. You probably received emails, telegram messages that we have a promotion. And the promotion is that if you become a paid Signal member before July 31st, you'll be grandfathered in, and you'll be grandfathered into the old pricing structure, and you will be getting a free upgrade to the trading room. So if you go to Forex Lens Home and you go to pricing, I'll try to explain this step by step. This way people can get their questions ready and kind of get an understanding of what this all means. So if you go to pricing, you'll see our current pricing structure. Okay, let's go based on the monthly. It's more simpler. So 75 per month. So let's say you become a Signal member before the 31st, which is actually Wednesday. Technically today. Today at 12 a.m. Eastern. So midnight, right around 12 hours from now. If you become a paid Signal member within the 12 hours, you get a free upgrade to our trading room. That means that you won't have to pay extra, and from here on out, it will be included in your Signal package each time you get billed per month, 75. Now, let's say after the 31st, you don't get in. The price for the trading room and the signals will be 97 per month. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I pay for a trading room? Why would I pay for these live sessions? I thought I'd go deeper into who I am as a trader and how I came to be. I've been on a 5-year journey. I'm almost at 6 years trading. My first year, I blew 3 accounts. One was 500, one was 1,000, one was 3,000. What I did in those 12 months was I joined, various signal groups. I tried a signal group for a week. If it was losses, I'd quit. If I found a group for a month and it was great, and then the next month there was losses, I'd quit. I kept repeating that same thing over and over again. And that's when I kind of realized that, a trader might have a losing month, but the other 11 months will be positive. And when you do the math, that is a net gain on the year. So this trading room, in my second year, I kind of, said, forget the signals. I want to learn how to trade myself. I know there's different time zones. I don't want to depend on someone else's analysis that deals with my money. If I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to lose it at my will, at my decision making. So let me learn how to trade. So, I joined a program of they're reputable traders. They're probably the biggest company in the UK. I'm not going to name them, obviously, because of, non-compete. But you probably know who they are. I did their program. And on top of that, I did their service where their analyst would break down pairs every day, the same pairs. And you kind of get an idea of, what setups to look for. And starting my third year, I took a year off university. I traded a $5,000 account, and over the course of 18 months, I made it to $21,000. If you if you do your investigation and you do your digging, you probably find RP Forex and the screenshots showing that 5K challenge. So my third year of university, I actually took the year off. I traveled and traded because I finally got it. And this is the way that I feel like it makes sense to people. You can do it on your phone because you don't have to load up a bunch of indicators or Gartley patterns or whatever. It makes intuitive sense, right? You're also adding fundamentals in. And so this is why I think that this is such a great deal. You're getting 8 providers, 8 of the best signal providers, 7 including me. And so each of these providers, they probably range from at least minimum 50 a month. You do the math, 8 times 50, 400. That's $400 out of your pocket if you paid for each provider on its own, right? And the reason why there's so many providers is, one, everyone's in different time zones. We have clients from Africa, Asia, Philippines, If you want to go into specifics, we got people in Vancouver, Toronto, Texas, Dallas. We can even go to inner cities, Houston. So all over Texas, all over the West Coast, East Coast, Asia, Malaysia. You get the point. So when a signal is sent, you might see it in the morning, and it's 5 hours past, and you're wondering should I enter this or not. So this is why different providers, you can find a provider that not only fits your time zone but your trading style. Everyone has different trading styles. Some people like to scalp, some people like to swing, some people like to enter a trade, forget about it, and just neglect it. And when it hits take profit, they move on to the next one. I will be looking at questions and pair recommendations. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you. You can send those in right now in the chat on the portal. Right now I'm just gonna get through this admin stuff so it's clear. People kind of get the idea of what the grandfathering is and why this will be worth it. So now you got the 5 providers. What else? We have Bloomberg Live. So all of these FOMC statements and all these fundamentals you see with the red folders, you're able to watch them live and get an idea of what they're saying, because more often than not, it's more about what they say in these speeches than the actual figures. And you can kind of get a sense of this when you watch these speeches live, and you have a chart on the side, and you can see the price action. And that's another benefit of our trading room. We have TradingView Pro. If you don't know what that is, it's basically you have a chart open right here. If I wanted to open another tab with another chart, let's say pound USD, TradingView would be like, you can't do that because you're not a pro member. We're giving that on the house. When you log into the portal, you're gonna have Euro, Pound, USD, and I believe Gold as the the defaults. But you can change those. You can literally click the chart and type in Bitcoin for whatever pair you want to look at, even stocks, futures. You can do that. It's all up to you, but it's great. So next time, maybe tomorrow morning when we do have the FOMC statement, you could have the Euro USD 5-minute chart open and have the Bloomberg Live running with the speech, and you can see the price action, you can see the reaction, and it's just understanding the fundamental side, because we focus a lot on technicals. But at the end of the day, these are currencies that are backed by a nation. So you have to understand what's going on in a nation. So you're getting the Bloomberg Lab, the TradingView Pro, and you're getting these sessions. We're getting a lot of compliments through support and even some questions and some criticism and recommendations, and we love it. I'm happy that a lot of you enjoy these sessions. I feel like it's also great for me because I finally get an hour of the day to just look at the charts without anything else distracting me. And I believe what we want at Forex Lens is for people to use signals as tools. So let's say you've attended a few sessions and I call out a signal saying short euro. You go onto your charts, your EURUSD chart, and you're like, I don't agree with RP because we're actually bouncing off hourly support. I would not short here. You can pass on the signal, and let's say you end up being correct. That installs confidence. That gives you some sort of foundation to work on to become an independent trader. Here at Forex Lens, we don't want you guys to be dependent on us for months and years to come. We want this to be a journey, and at the end of the day, you have to learn how to trade, because when you use signals and you use it as a copy and paste service, you're literally putting your funds in someone else's hands and saying, here, trade for me. And that's totally different than managed accounts, but that's a whole different story. So I thought I'd do this admin stuff for. If you haven't signed up for the trading room yet, please do. It's still free until August 16th. Just go over to this link right here and fill out this form. When you do fill out this form, you will get an email with login details. Make sure you check your spam folder. And then all you gotta do is log in at forexlens.com/portal. You go over here and just copy and paste the details. Passwords are gonna be complex characters. So you want to make sure that you're not missing or mistaking letters for numbers, etc. So go over here, copy and paste, and you'll see signals, charts, Bloomberg Live, and the New York Live sessions. So enough with the admin stuff. I'm gonna take maybe a 1-second break to check the questions and to send up the link for the live. While we do that, you guys just get settled in, and we'll have a great session. Usually our night sessions have a lot of activity and overall participation, so I love it. But I hope you guys are understanding how to use price action and watch out for candlestick patterns. You can also Google candlestick patterns to kind of see which reversal patterns you should look out for. They definitely help and are great confluence. So I'm just going to send out these links. Join tonight's live. And based on what everyone is saying, and of course it's speculation, there will be a rate cut during tomorrow's FOMC statement. So, some people say, a lot of people in the Forex game feel that that is already priced in. It's more about the FOMC statement, which is more about the future. So if the future outlook for the USD is good, you may actually see some strength even though they're cutting rates. So be cautious of that. That is one of the reasons why I closed 0.25, 25% of our position. So I've sent these links out, and I'm gonna get some questions in from you guys, some peer recommendations, and we'll get this live started. Okay, gold. I'm sorry for changing the times. Just a lot of, unfortunate things and unexpected things came up. But these live sessions are pre-recorded, so you can see them at a later time. um, Saying live stream is offline. Okay, that is a new one. Let me guys know in the chat if you are hearing me. Okay, it seems to be back. Okay, we're getting some pair recommendations in. Let me just get started. So I'll start with the majors, and then we can go into the recommendations and questions. Without a further ado, let's start off with Euro USD. So Euro, last week we had the key tap to the psychological level, 1.11 thousand. We hit it to the T and a nice rebound with this range and came back down. And I believe last week I did say that if we do get a nice closure above 1.11550, we could have longs to at least 1.12 thousand. And so today, if we zoom in, today we did have that break up, the retest and the rejection with this bullish candle, and prices actually closed below that key level. This is where I said let's close off 0.25 or 25% of our position, just because it is NFP week, and who knows what is priced in and what is not. The Fed could surprise everyone and just say we will postpone rate cuts or only have one rate cut for the remainder of the year, and that could actually plummet the Euro USD. Also at the FOMC statement, if they show a lot of signs of ambitiousness and confidence in the future, in the near term for the US dollar in terms of negotiations with China, you can also see USD gain strength. So this is where I actually had my stop loss originally when I analyzed the pair, right around 1.11369. So 20 pips away from where we are right now. But I did want to extend it a bit further down just in case we do have a spike or a stop hunt during fundamentals before we rock it back up. A lot of people probably got spiked out here, stop lossed out when they went to short, and when in return it did actually go short. So that's what you got to watch out for NFP week. I usually don't trade it, but this is, I kind of have to send out trades, and I'm sending out quality trades as I think they are. I mean, this is a good trade. Overall, the trend is up, and we did get a close over this key level. and we did get a good retest rejection. When we had this push up, we just had a complete rejection down, no retest. Over here, we did have a rejection, but a nice, equal retest to the upside. So that's what I see for EURUSD. We're still gonna hang in there with our longs. Overnight during London, we do have some fundamentals coming in for Euro. Let's just take a quick look at that. So we do have, so we have some minor, medium fundamental Spanish flash GDP, CPI. So obviously you want all of these things to be higher than expected than a forecast. So these levels right here, they're gonna start off at 3 a.m. and probably finish right around 6. And then at 8:15, we're gonna have the ADP non-farm employment change, which is a major key. You obviously want this to be higher than forecasted employment change, meaning how many jobs were added. GDP also key for the CAD. We're not in that, so that's okay. And then later at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have the FOMC statement and the federal funds rate. So what are they gonna do? Are they gonna cut rates? Obviously, higher than this is better. It's like a bank account. Let's say you wanted to open up a savings account. They give you an option between 1% interest and 2% interest. Obviously, you're going to choose 2% interest because that will increase your money per month. So it's the same thing. So if the Fed does come out with a 2.3 or whatever the case may be, you will see some strength in the USD. Let me just take a quick peek at the chat before I switch to the pound USD. I hope the change in time wasn't on short notice. But I do apologize. Hopefully people can get in. Alright, we have some people coming in. So before I switch to pound USD, I want to make these live sessions more interactive. Just shout out there to answer this question. What's your favorite pair to trade, and what's your favorite time frame for that pair? Go shoot that question. Who knows, you might win, a free month of signals or a free month of trading room access. So let's keep this live session going. Moving on to the pound USD. I remember last week I did say the pound will not recover ? And this week I said the pound will not recover. And what I mean by recover, it might have a mini bull run, but let's just look at this weekly. If you look at the weekly, you'll see the overall just spill. And zooming in, if we go back to this last high since March, we've been in a consecutive just pour out. And this last weekly candle, huge in size, and we are going to our key level of 1.21,000. I said this, I believe, on Monday, and I believe that's where we're going to go. Whoever shorted to that, you're probably major in profits, but when I mean recover, I'm talking about at least a 38.2 fib retracement. To show you what that means, going from the swing high to the swing low. We might have the pound come up here, but if it doesn't come up to at least here, I don't really call it a recovery, I just call it a retrace. Even then, on the larger scale of things, pulling back, it's been in a downtrend since 2014. And pound has been one of the sought-off currencies since the Brexit talks have been happening. It used to be, if you just go right here, it used to be 1.2500, 25,000 against the dollar, and it's just been slipping since. And it's similar to this fallout here when Brexit was announced, and we're having that similar fall there. Going into the monthly, we do see how attractive the 1.21,000 level is. A lot of taps there, and I think that's where we're going to be going. In terms of setups, going to the 1 hourly, when the currency is slipping this hard, it's pretty easy to get an entry, just because the trend will be there. And I believe I drew this earlier when I was looking at the charts. We do have this nice little trend line. If you're looking to go short, look for a nice break of this trend line, maybe a retest, and you can short it down to somewhere here. You can extend the stop loss right above these recent highs. But sure enough, if you do get some sort of bearish reaction off this trend line, you're gonna go down, and you will at least secure some pips, 30 to 40. I'll keep this frame still so you can get the levels down. But the pound is short across all pairs basically. The CAD is slipping hard against, the yen is slipping hard against. I guess Aussie, it's kind of consolidating or making somewhat moves, but overall in the higher time frames it's still down. If you're looking to buy the pound, you're courageous, and it's definitely a high risk trade. I would not recommend it, but I will be looking out for shorts, especially if tomorrow, if the rate decision is at around 2%. That's where people expect it to be. But if the FOMC statement is showing signs of confidence in the economy and signs of rebound, we could have this move play out, and I'd be more than happy to enter it. We don't have pound fundamentals until I believe the next day, so Thursday, for it maybe for it to inflict any sort of so actually Friday. So if the USD comes out with a positive FOMC statement, we could short the pound until Friday, and we can get out right before Monday. So Friday we do have the GDP, manufacturing production, and prelim GDP. So major keys on Friday. So that's what I see for pound. I'm going to take a quick peek to the chat. I believe someone said gold and euro pound. So I will look at those. This chat is lagging. Hopefully it's not lagging for you guys. Okay, so we have USD and USD CAD. Favorite pair in an S. Okay, that's your favorite pair. That's cool. Okay, so we've gotten euro out of the way, pound out of the way. This is a setup I see for pound, by the way. The video will be processed within the hour, so you could come back and look at the levels. But moving on to USD yen. USD yen is also looking like a short earlier in the day. I didn't give it much of a peek, but yeah. So this is what I had drawn on. Ready for today's session. We have a nice clear ascending trend line. One touch, two touch, three touch. We had a break, although this break was a hammer, so there wasn't much convincing, bearish convincing action there with the hammer. We have that retest, and then we just consolidated for a bit. Right around 108.600, we just consolidated. That's why I didn't call the signal for short. I had the stop and take profits ready, but until I see a nice full bearish candle with very little wick to the bottom, I'm not confident in entering short. Just zooming in, you can see these past few candles for the 4-hourly all have major wicks to the bottom except this one. So major wick here, major wick here, major wick here, major wick here. All in all, they're hammers. So there are, telling me there's reluctancy to go down, and I believe they're pretty much waiting for fundamentals, most notably the FOMC statement tomorrow. So for USD yen, plot this short setup down, get the trend line down, and these two levels. So the two levels you want to watch out for is 108.600 and 108.685. If we do get a close above 108.685, we may have another push higher. But as long as we stay below there, I'm pretty confident. Just because if you move to the left, we are in a range below this level, 108.600. We do have this range. Right here. We do have this range to this support zone. So, if the Feds are cutting rates, it's pretty much 90% sure it might be priced in. And if the FOMC statement is still unsure about global trade tensions and how the negotiations with China went in Shanghai on Tuesday, then we could have a slip with USD yen, especially because our yen is acting as a safe haven, and we know what safe havens do during times of instability. They own the markets. So that's USD yen, and we'll do gold, and I'll do you guys recommendations. And tomorrow morning we can pick up where we're at. And gold back within our trading range. I mean, I've covered this last week. If you traded this trading range, you could have won 5 out of 7 trades. And right now there is a short opportunity. I wish there was not a USD fundamentals tomorrow, because this short opportunity, the entry is now, although the risk to reward is 1.38, it's definitely one that can be done intraday, but I doubt it's going to be played out until the fundamentals tomorrow morning. So yeah, tomorrow we have the 80 ADP. So we might just consolidate, but we had a nice rejection off this level, 1416. Oh my bad, 1430. Our support or take profit is 1416. We've seen it happen here before. We've seen it happen here. We've seen it happen here. We've seen it happen here. And we've seen it happen here. So definitely a nice key level. If you're in short already, if you've plotted these levels, you could have entered right after this doji candle right here. This candle right here, you could have made 20 or 30 pips in profit. But I'd say take them, be safe. If you're looking for more confluence, we could draw this trend line. And this is not a bad trade at all. Coming off a nice key zone, which we have been ranging from. We had a nice bearish engulfing candle. It's bigger than the past 5 candles, maybe even the past 10. And we had a nice break of an uptrend. And what we might do is might have a pullback, retest this trend line, and a short down. I won't call this as a signal just because we have fundamentals tomorrow, and a lot of our users have smaller account sizes. But if you had a nice week, or these last few weeks where we've averaged 300 pips, you're feeling a little risky, and you want to just play the cards and the probabilities, you can enter short now, because it is a good setup and the probabilities are on your side. But just make sure your stops are pretty tight. I'd keep my stops actually a bit lower than this. You can put these levels down, but now's a good time to enter, as we've made a decent move down. It's a nice point to enter on a consolidation point before the next leg down. So that's what I see for gold. Now I'm gonna do the pair recommendations you guys had, and we'll end off this session. Podcad, cool, I got you. No Limit TY, welcome to the live session. I believe I haven't seen you in the morning sessions, so hope it's happy to see you. So let's go in order. Euro Pound, I'll do it quick. USD CHF will be pretty quick. USD CAD, Odd CAD, Aussie. I'm expecting shortness all across the board. That's why we're in Aussie and shorts. We're about 45% profit. So let's look at that. Going to Euro Pound. Last week we did try to short again off the head and shoulders retest, but it showed no regard for that. So last week we caught the short from here to here, a nice 50 or 60 pips, and then we retested this head and shoulders neckline. We have our left shoulder, head, right shoulder, retested the neckline, but Euro Pound had no regard for human life or that neckline, especially with Boris Johnson putting pressure on the European Union for a Brexit deal within the next 3 months. So the pound slipped hard and euro rocketed. It's right now right around our near-term trend line, this black line right here, and I believe this trend line is from the monthly time frame. Zooming out, the monthly usually gives a good idea. So going back to December of 08, we've had this one touch here, the second touch in September of 2017, and we're going to attempt another touch in 2019, quarter 3. And now it's looking like, if you just look at this this nice reaction off this this trend line, this sort of triangle bullish pennant pattern, if you want to call it that. We had a nice break up, and zooming in, 0 bearish candles. This is the 1, 2, 3 for the past 3 weeks. Euro Pound has been rocketing. I wouldn't be surprised if it does make it push past this trend line into higher levels. But the thing here is we have some nice resistance. We have some very good resistance at this level, and even down below here, right? So if Euro Pound does close out outside of this descending trend line, it's going to run into some major resistance at 0.94000, and short-term resistance, we're approaching it right around 0.3000. Nice psychological levels, clean levels. So I'd watch out for sell stops there, but Euro Pound, I wouldn't touch it. It does look on the smaller time frames that not the daily, the 1 hourly, that that the overall buy push this bull run has reached some exhaustion, as you can see here with these with this mini rate trace and these failures to go any higher, even though we have some nice technical resistance right here. We haven't lunged to test it. Maybe during London we will make a push to this 0.91999, so basically 0.92000. We might make a push during London to this level. Look out for signs of rejection. Because we're off the monthly and weekly time frame, you want something significant, maybe a trend line break, a series of bearish candles, a bearish engulfing, because you could get faked out. It just could be a retrace, especially with the move this aggressive. So starting from here to here, such an aggressive move. The retraces were very slim to none. We might have a a nice deep retrace, maybe to here. If you want specifics, always try to bring up the nice fibs. We could have a nice deep retrace to maybe the 38.2 fib level, or even the 0.50 right in the middle of our resistance zone before going back up. So be cautious of that if you're trying to swing short this. If you are looking for shorts, look for signs of rejection off this trend line and look for intraday opportunities. Maybe the first level would be this fib like right here, 23.6, and the next one would be right around this 0.50 level at our 0.9650 resistance. So that's what I see. Euro Pound overall weakness for the pound. I would not call a buy. If I called a buy, I'd be like 100% confident, but I'm not. Again, USD CHF pulling back out to the daily. So last week we had a nice descending trend line, which we did break, but we got capped off right at resistance at 0.99400 region, and it was a nice short, and you can still enter short. So if you entered short from here, you would have been in some good profit right now. But because I like to trade ranges and price, most of the time price is ranging. The other times price is trending, and the very few times price is reversing. So you always want to find the the range and trade within the range or trade with the trend. And here what we have is a range within a range. So I know it sounds a bit like a tongue twister, but it makes sense. So we have a range from right around 0.98100 to 0.99400, right? From here to here to here to here. And within that range, we have another range from this support, resistance region to here, to here, to here, to here. So we have a range within a range. And what price is doing right now, or what it tried to do earlier, was when it came off resistance at this level, it tried to close below this range right here. And what you want to do when you do close within a range is you want to retest in a rejection. So we did get a retest with this candle, but this next candle was not a rejection. It wasn't a bearish candle down. If it was, or even on the smaller time frames, you could have had a nice short from there to our range. I mean, 2.5 is to reward. That's amazing. But we didn't get that rejection. And moving on to the 1 hour, we can see that we didn't get any convincing signs of rejection. So here was our close below this level, our retest. And if you look at the rejections, they're all hammers. No really full bearish candles. This is like a hammer, spinning top, hammer, 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 spinning top, hammer, spinning top, doji, and then you have bullish hammers. So you didn't have a fat bearish candle like this one. So that's why you wouldn't have entered short at this level. So right now what we're looking for is price to maybe pull back hard with a nice bearish closure with very little wicks to the bottom to enter short. Zooming out on the 1 hourly, we can see we're still making lower highs and lower lows. So the overall trend is down. If you want to be very specific, you could draw this out. So drawing out this trend line on the lower time frame, we do see we had a 1 touch, a 2 touch, a 3 touch, and right now on our 4th touch, we're looking like we're either going to reject down. If we do close outside of this trend line, I would actually call a long signal, and it'd be a nice risk to reward one. So if this candle does flick up and maybe come back and retest the support, consolidate like it done here, you see how it came back, flipped in, consolidated, and just rocketed off. We could have that same thing and have a nice long. Somewhere entry would be somewhere there, stops would be right here, and long would be like that. So for each trade setup, there could be a flip side. On the daily, even weekly, it is a downtrend, but we could have a minor, impulse move up, and then a further move down, all depending on the FOMC, right? So tomorrow is key, but right now we are rejecting this trend line. Let's see what happens. For shorts, look for a push back down, a nice bearish closure, and we can trade back to this range level right here. 0.98436 will be your first take profit, and that's what I see. USD CAD. So I'm gonna do USD CAD. Someone asked for Aussie CAD, and then I think that'll be the end of this session. Don't want to drag it on too long. We'll have a lot to talk about during tomorrow's session after the ADP comes out. So USD CAD and AUD CAD, and we'll finish this off. So USD CAD, looking to the left, we have come off this nice level, 1.32 thousand. Definitely a nice psychological level for the USD CAD, and we did, zooming in, we did have a nice evening star shoot up, and we had a couple of those, and it's looking like we are going lower. And here comes our rage again, so we do have some near-term resistance that we're sitting on. It's a similar setup to USD CHF. Looking at the small time frames, we have a range from this support region to, this resistance region to this support region. Had this 1, 2, 3, consolidated 4, and it's looking like we're going to come back within that region. So extend this out. I will post this chart in particular on our trading view so you can get the levels down. But this is what we're looking at right now. Price is just flirting. Last time when we were in this region, we had a lot of wicks. Same hammers, nothing convincing. Here we did enter short at this bearish candle, but USD fundamentals came out better than expected. I think it was PMI or CPI, so we had a rally to 1.32 thousand. But based on what's going to happen tomorrow, we could see a slip. If we don't, get in right on the news breakout, we could get out after the impulse move down, and then we can enter after a retrace. But that's what I'm seeing. The trend is down for the USD CAD. Looking to the left, it's been in a downtrend. It had its moments of having a nice uptrend, but overall it is in a downtrend. So you do have to respect that. If it does close within range, an amazing short opportunity. I'm probably going to go to sleep after this session, but for those that are in London or GMT time or in Asia, look out for something like this. Look for a nice bearish closure, and when I mean a nice bearish closure, what we have right now, which is a hammer, is a no-go. Don't enter on that. You'd want something like this candle. A very little wick to the bottom, or even this candle right here, which is a perfect example. Very little wick to the bottom, nice large in size. It's bigger than the previous 10 or 20 candles. That's what we want. We want a convincing move down. And when we have that, we might have it somewhere right here. Your entry could be somewhere here. And your stop loss could be right above this recent highs / resistance level. Your take profit is right at this range. So 2.09 risk to reward. I'll stop moving the frame. I'll actually reset the chart so you can see it. So this is what we're looking at for USD CAD. have these levels down, especially my London guys. You know, sometimes the setups are happening in London and I'm asleep, so I can't call them. But I've given you guys the requirements for the price action. This is what we're looking for, and that's USD CAD. I'll finish off with Aussie CAD. If you have any last minute questions, send them through. I believe this session is almost at 40 or 50 minutes, so it's a bit longer than usual, but it's productive, and that's the main thing. So Aussie. Going to the daily, it's been slipping. Pop into the weekly. Actually, we can see things more clearly because it did break a trend line. So for the person that asked, there is a weekly trend line, but we may have drawn different trend lines. This is the one that I drew from this long wick to here, and connecting to the series of wicks right here. Actually, let me adjust it. Okay, so that's my weekly trend line. I think you're talking about that one. If you're not, let me know. So, whoops. This is my weekly trend line. We did have a nice push off this trend line, but we did run into this ascending trend line right here, and we came back down. This level 0.91900 or 0.92000, whatever you want to call it, has been some nice support. Looking to the left, we wicked here, and we've always had a recovery. So it's a nice support, and what recent price action has done is we did have a break and close. Let me zoom in. We did have a break and close below this level, a nice retest with the green candle, a rejection with this nice bearish candle, and a nice fallout. That's probably around 100 or 120 pips. And then price came back, retested again, a nice rejection with this bearish candle, very little wick to the bottom. And now this current candle we are printing is a hammer. So going on the daily, we might have some understanding and clarity of why that's happening. So going on to the daily, we do see that 0.91195, this horizontal ray right here, has been some minor support. Starting in June, we were in this kind of range, and this was support for some time. And this is what we've done as of this week. We have broken past that level, and we didn't get a chance to retrace. Obviously, Aussie is looking to cut rates, and this is when we shorted Aussie yen. I see Aussie being weak all across the board, and so what price is looking to do now is maybe come back up and do that retrace that it deserves. If not this level, definitely this level, because going to the 4-hourly, we could probably see that that level indeed was a support, and as it is, it was a support right here, and at one point it was a nice resistance, which we broke, retested, and fell out. So Aussie is reacting pretty damn hard right now. This is a nice bullish engulfing, but I wouldn't say this is a trend reversal. It might just be a nice touch to here and a further spill out, pulling out the fibs. We can see where this could go to. It's pulling out the fibs. Looking for Aussie CAD shorts. Look for either entries at 0.50 because it could retrace up to here and then go down, or the 0.30 or 38.2 fib level, which is known for a reversal zone. So that's what I'm looking at for Aussie CAD. Overall, it is a downtrend. On the hourly, this could just be a fake out with the bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing doesn't always mean that we have a trend reversal. As you can see here, we had a nice bullish engulfing, and then price consolidated, and then you had the spill out of Asians. So that's what you gotta watch out for. Trend is down. Just watch for the retest, rejection of 0.90855 or one of these two fib levels, the 0.50 or 0.382. These might seem a little bit blurry right now, but when the video gets processed, they'll be more clear, so you can watch the playback and kind of get a feel of where your level should be on your own chart. But before we send this off, I just want to look on the the weekly. Looking to the left. So looking to the left, we notice two things. That this support level we drew is significant. It was significant here, significant here, significant here, significant here. Look to the left, it was significant here. There was resistance at one point, and you get the idea. Dating back to 99, it's been a significant level, right? So So that's great. Another thing you notice is that when we did close below, when price has closed below this level, we did have a fallout to new lows. You can see that happen here. You can see that happen here. You can see that happen here. If you want to go into recent history, we had a close, right? But we didn't get that retest rejection, which we want to see on the lower time frames. Over here, we had that close, but we didn't have that retest and rejection. Looking in our case, we did have that close and a retest and a rejection, so the shorts are in our favor. I actually might call the short trade after tomorrow's CAD fundamentals. I believe it's CAD GDP. So if the CAD GDP comes out better than expected, it's 0.1%. If you look at the details, we can see actual greater than forecast is good. So obviously we want something greater than this. If it does come out, it's more incentive to short Aussie CAD. But that's what I'm seeing right now. We do have that close and retest below this key level. It is not inevitable, but it's highly likely that we are headed for 0.88785. The reason why, when you look to the left, when we did have those closures at that level, this is where price stalled or it rebounded. So when we had to close below this level, at this level, price rebounded, or even here, it stalled, then rebounded. Looking to the left, price when it came below this level, when it came to our support, take profit level, it rebounded. Looking to the left again, spiked here, rebounded. And so, I'm beating a dead horse, but hope you guys get the idea. That's what we're looking for. Just watch out for the price action. That is Aussie CAD. If you have any more questions about that, whoever asked, let me know before I send this live session off. Short, so our Aussie yen short is in profit. Do you shift SL to entry? So yes, Skyla, we hit about 45 or 50 pips into profit. Our second take profit at least. And I always recommend my traders to move SL to entry at 25 pips or TP1. That's because usually when there's no fundamentals, per session price usually moves 25 to 40 pips, and so you usually want to be in and out of trades. You don't want to be hanging in within sessions. So you might notice in New York session we might make 25 to 30 pips, and then when Aussie Open comes or Japan session comes, price retraces to our entry and we're back to no profit. So a lot of our clients have smaller accounts and or just are more into intraday trading or short-term trading. So I recommend doing that just to ensure that if price does retrace, we don't get booted out of a good trade. So when we get to 25 pips or TP1, close off half your position or 30%, 40%, whatever you're comfortable with, and move SL to entry. And once we make 15 or 10, 20 pips profit, further beyond that, you can close off more percentages of your position. So 0.05, 0.10, you get the idea. That way you're ensuring you're collecting profits, and you're making sure your winners run and your losers are cut short. So hopefully you did do that for Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen has retraced pretty heavily. It's about 10 pips away from our entry, and we went as far as 45 pips. So you kind of get the idea. There's a real life example why you move stops to entry and you take some profits off the table. So it was great to see you, Skyla. Hope you're doing great. Tomorrow is a Wednesday, a lot of fundamentals, same with Thursday and Friday. NFP is usually not a good time to trade, so I won't be sending too many signals, if any, maybe one or two between now and Thursday. But during this time, it should be a good time to just take a look at the charts, understand how fundamentals affect them, and also get accustomed to learning price action. So candlestick patterns, hammers, haramis, dark cloud covers, how to read things like trend lines, channel breaks. This is all available on Google. We have 30 to 40 minute sessions Monday to Thursday. So obviously can't teach you guys everything, but I hope it's starting to make sense and you guys are making profits. We've been averaging 300 pips per week since I started in June, and I even created a MyFX book to make sure things are transparent. If you have any ambiguity or differences in profits, please email support@forexlens.com and we'll help you. They always forward me people's trade logs, and I see people entering 1.0 lots on a $3,000 account, and then the other trade after that they enter a 0.20. You can't do risk management sometimes. You have to do risk management all the time. If you have a $5,000 account, your lot sizes should be no more than 0.15 or 20. And that might sound little, but understand that trading and Forex, it's all an investment. It's a long-term investment. It's not something where you flip accounts. If you have $1,000 account, don't expect to pay your bills off the earnings on $1,000 account. It's just not going to happen. This is why during this time, just build up your capital till we're at like 50,000 K, where you can aim for 5% a week and make decent profits. 5% a week, that's 500. That's 2,500. That's 2,000 a month. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for an average person. They'll cover rent, utilities, and whatnot. But that's just a starting point. So look for the long game, the long ball, and just be cautious. Employ risk management at all times, all trades. Even if I hit a 10 trade win streak, make sure the lot size is the same for the 11th trade. So that's enough rambling. This session was pretty long, but I thought it was productive. Got some admin stuff out of the way. I explained the trading room, the benefits, and why a novice trader or a trader that's looking to be independent, why would they choose it? And we also got the majors covered and some minors as well. So tomorrow will be a big eventful day. So make sure you're cautious, because it could get volatile and you could get stopped out or margined out of your trades. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. I do apologize for the random time changes, but our company is growing, and as we grow, there's a lot of opportunities coming our way, and sometimes we don't have control of what meetings come. But tomorrow for sure, 11 a.m. Eastern. I will see you guys then. It'll be an exciting session. We'll get to talk about where the USD is going, and definitely some setups for the rest of the day. So happy trading to people on the East Coast who stayed up. I appreciate it. We really do appreciate your participation in the live session and you coming out here. For my London folks and my GMT folks, have a great start to the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So peace, and I'll see you when I see you.